Well, all trips to Burning Man start with a vehicle. And this Dodge pickup back here I bought when brought the council to Washington, D.C. with People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. So I appreciate that. I was able to buy this truck down in Oregon, and when I bought it, I think it had 280,000 miles on it, something like that. And now it's got 320. But the radiator is leaking. So here we are in June, and I'm already planning ahead. I'll do the radiator swap here. I got a new radiator, hopefully it fits. And the other thing that's going on with this truck is the transmission is not happy in first and second gear. Once it gets in third gear, it's good to go. So that doesn't make me feel super comfortable, but a new transmission is $2,500. Not a new transmission. A new transmission's like, if you can find one, it's $3,500. But a good used one is $2,500, which is kind of, in keeping with what I'm trying to do here. But it's a beautiful day up here in Molson, and got polar bears back there. I don't know if you can see them. Merpony, they're watching me work here. And I think I have all the tools, and I think I have the right kind of buckets and stuff. So I'm just going to go for it. It's doesn't seem terribly complicated. It's just a lot of finicky little clips and stuff. So yeah, I'm just going to put on a time lapse, and this starts the Council of Animals 2026 documentation. And the reason I need to get the truck running is that the coyote and the penguin and all of the Akavala stuff is still up at Barter Fair from in May. And I need to go get coyote, and to go get coyote I need the truck. And the truck could probably make it, but it's summer now, and I have to take the trailer and bring back a bunch of speakers and stuff, so I don't want to blow up the truck. Because I need the truck. I need the truck to get the art to Burning Man. I mean, I do have another truck, the Akavalo Toter, which is registered, and I could use that truck. It's just so uncomfortable. There's a reason I didn't drive it across the country. And it's way overly big and fuel consumptive and everything. So we're gonna try and fix this little girl. This truck's name is Becky, and I absolutely love her. She's been such a good truck, and just gonna keep her going here. Yeah, that's what's happening. Anyway, I've just been thinking about like animals, I guess. Burning Man, what's coming up, trying to get ready for it, processing I'm still processing the trip to New York, and that being on the runway like that, being so exposed to reality. I'm gonna be on TV. I'm not quite sure what that's going to entail or what that's going to look like. There's a pretty tragic story, really, and I've carried a lot of shame over it for the last 20 years. But I'm finally at a point where I've processed that shame by bringing shame forward. I see my mind as yes, I know, here, it's very exciting. I'm on the ground. So exciting. Come on, dude, give me my space. Bambino has no sense of personal space whatsoever. All right, no, not a bit. No, I don't want you in my mouth. Back up. And I don't know if I talked about that film, but like I had a lucid dream state of Burning Man that kind of changed the way I see my mind. I wasn't on any drugs, well, maybe some cannabis, but in the middle of a nap I stopped napping and just started hanging out inside my mind, and I was able to meet a lot of different aspects of my being that are both verbal and nonverbal. And that was a pretty powerful experience. So about 6 months ago, I started talking to shame as an entity, as a person, wringing her hands and weeping in the background. And I just asked her to come forward, just like the angry Viking and the fabricator and the artist and all these people that live in my brain or share this experience with me. And it's been a journey, for sure. So now when I do something shameful, I try to process it right away rather than hold on to it. And one of the things I struggle with is making sure that all the people who helped with Akavalo get credit, that I'm not taking credit for my art being all my own. So many people have helped in so many ways, and I want them all to feel acknowledged and celebrated. But I sometimes forget who did what, when, how. It's been such an incredible journey. Anyway, so shame is something that I now live with rather than something that I ignore. And as a consequence, I basically immediately stopped drinking and started exercising and just started living in a much more positive way. Living with a sense of light rather than a sense of darkness. And so, in a way, I'm really grateful that this documentary took so long to come out. It gave me time to do a lot of healing and a lot of restorative work, and with myself. Since the documentary came out, I've officially divorced Michelle, which was a pretty powerful experience. I don't know that I can really explain why and how, other than I found that piece of paper to be overwhelming, this contract. And I think a lot about marriage, and I think that marriage should be at the most a 5-year contract that you renew every 5 years. And if you don't renew it, then it expires, like getting a license for a boat. But I know that it works for a lot of people. And anyway, Michelle and I are getting along better than we have in a long time, maybe ever. And the way that relationship worked was pretty tightly keyed into our childhood traumas and the ways in which that those traumas aligned to where we could form a safe bubble for each other. And being together in a marriage contract only like after many years, as we started to change, there was a shift to where those traumas didn't line up in a safe way anymore, and we were just making it ever worse for each other. But I wasn't able to see my traumas or understand my personality in the context of that relationship. And then once we shifted into this new paradigm, I was able to start really working on the ways I think and what I think about and how I feel, getting in touch with my own self. And since then, I've been just living with myself. But it's coming up on the art frenzy that is Burning Man, and just trying to stay calm and proceed with clarity and dignity and self-respect and all these things that I've been learning And I know it's going to be a challenge, but I think I'm up for it. I think I'm ready for flashlights to be shown into my closets and everybody gets to look at it. And I trust Jahan. I trust Burning Man. It's been a long journey for me. And it's still being written in a very real way. So this year we're, Council of Animaling, which is good times. All right, well, enough of that blubber blather. I gotta get to work. But I gotta keep rolling. Ooh, I'm driving my life away, looking for a better way for me. Ooh, I'm driving my life away, looking for a sunny day. Okay, well, there's the old one out. It was leaking along the seam where it's crimped over, and there was no way to get in there and deal with it. And yeah, it was annoying. The new one is in, and I lost 2 bolts. One of them holds on this, I don't know if you can see it down in there, this guy on that side is missing a bolt. So that's not fun. I know where the bolt is. It's down inside that stamped piece of metal down at the bottom. So if I have a long grabber, I think I can get it out and get that. And the other bolt that holds this part on fell and disappeared. I don't see it anywhere. I even got a flashlight and looked around. Maybe I'll find it when I sweep up. But it's supposed to go into a nut that isn't in there. So I'm just going to put a regular 5/16 bolt through there and just do it that way. Hopefully that'll work. Oh, I know it'll work. And yeah, now I'm ready to get the bucket of coolant and a funnel and pour the coolant back in and keep on keeping on. I haven't had any great insights. I thought I should probably explain this hat. But there's not much to explain. It's just a hat. But yeah, it's got a certain misogynistic message. But yeah, I'm just trying to get it dirty. Quality inspector. Oh, right. Well, sex work is real work. Okay, well, I'm just going to carry on. I think I need to go find a bolt, and I need to get a snack, and I need to find a funnel, and I'm not going to make you watch all that. But rest assured, the Council of Animals is underway for 2026. And it's crazy to think that I was starting a cavallo about the same time 19 years ago. Now we only had 2 months to build it. And by comparison, finishing out the interior and the elephant with Gwen and Leah and working on the coyote's neck with some hammers and copper and finishing the benches or figuring out how the benches are going to work. Oh, that's the other thing I have to get is the benches. I forgot about that. So yeah, I definitely need this truck to work. And I need to borrow a different trailer. You see the gears turning in my mind. Okay, all right, well, that was a fun day. Got nice and dirty, and yeah, fun 3 hours. And I don't know if it helps, but that's how big the outside is. So I just opened up this hatch, the elephant, and you come in here, and there's like this space. And I think some of this metal can come out, although maybe it's okay. It seems kind of intrusive, but maybe this is, you can see it was sort of starting to turn into an altar. And then you can sit down here. Oh, that's what it is.